Good afternoon. It's 5 p.m. and time for the regular schedule, October 1st, 2024. Niagara Superior School Board Committee has a whole meeting. Board members and visitors, please silence your cell phones and electronic devices. That's not to interrupt the meeting. If you can't, put it in your pocket, I guess.
Make sure we follow our own policy.
That's it. Thank you for your cooperation.
I was trying.
Board members, now that we're required by law to televise our meetings, please speak clearly and loudly to the camera microphone to pick it up. Our viewers have contacted us in the past saying they can't understand what we're saying, and we certainly want to make sure that we're transparent as possible. And we're going to have the, Mr. Mike, are you going to do the roll call? Or Ms. Kanika?
She's doing everything remotely for this meeting, so
Okay.
she doesn't even have to do the roll call since we're not voting. If
Right.
that's okay with you.
No, that's fine. Okay. All right, so Ms. Rebels, remotely, can you do a roll call for us? Okay, I think she said we have a quorum. All right. Superintendent Eloy, can you take us out?
Yes, sir. So for the, I almost forgot, we're month of October because we're barely into it. But for the month of October, we have a few guests tonight that I think have some really good information to share with us. Before we get to that, I would like to give you a few updates on a few different things. If you recall, y'all voted that we would have the MFP $2,000, $1,000 stipend out by October 15th. I really want to give credit to our, to specifically Ms. Anitra Davis and Ms. McKenzie, because they came to me, Ms. Anitra did, and said, hey, we'd really love to get this out before fall break. And I said, that would be amazing. So employees received their GFA update today, and that will hit their banks tomorrow. We had a few little mistakes which will get corrected, but very minor mistakes. And yes, our nurses and our social workers, we are fixing those mistakes.
Secretary.
I don't know, that's a new one.
No, I'm talking about Ms. Roberts.
Yes, she was,
Our board secretary.
yes, sir, she was fixed as well. Something else that's come up is some people, overwhelmingly, we've gotten some really positive feedback on the bus tracking. We've been at it now for about 3 weeks, I believe. We've done two things that I think people need to be aware of. One of those is, for that first week, they saw that they could go on any time of day and see the bus. Well, there's no real need for that at 10 a.m. because the bus is sitting in a parking lot. For insurance reasons and some things with Echo, we made sure that the bus tracking is only during the time that the bus is actually in operation. So some people call us and they're like, oh my gosh, it's down, y'all got rid of it. No, it's still there. You just have to go during that time. And Mr. Kozad actually put a thing, if you go before that or after that, you'll see that it's only operational during those times. Also, many folks are using the app to utilize it. We think that's the best way to do it because you can access it anywhere. But if you access it and say yesterday you looked at where your child was on the app, you closed out, but you did not close it out completely, so the app was still running in the background. I'm referencing iPhones, I don't know how everyone else works. But if you do that and the next day you come and look at it again, it'll probably sometimes be still in the location it was yesterday, even if it's not there. You have to fully close out the app, get back into it, and then it'll refresh. That's only if you're using the app, and as soon as you do that, everything's back to normal. But overwhelmingly, again, a really great feedback. I think everyone's been super happy about it, and I know it's lessened the amount of calls to the district and to Echo about people wondering where their students are. Also exciting news, hopefully we can get out of here in a decent hour because we have the junior high championship today for football between Lakeview and the Middle Lab Magnet combo team. I know who Pastor Harris will be rooting for, and I'm going to be an independent, and I'll be happy either way. I did want to bring to y'all's attention, construction is, we're going to say, nearing completion. It's still ongoing. We believe after we get back from fall break on the 14th, it'll probably be 95% plus complete, but probably the rest of October getting it ready. And we are very, I want to say cautiously optimistic. We are very optimistic, and we believe that we will be in that building for the November board meeting. I'm not going to put money on that, but we do believe that's going to happen.
So, Superintendent Eloy, we have an event that's gonna occur next week. Are they gonna continue work?
So unfortunately, that event had to be moved over to the large
I'm
multi.
talking about fall break.
Oh, yes, they're not on fall break.
Okay.
They'll continue working, but the event, we have LSBA coming in, and we wanted to display our new building for them. Unfortunately, they're going to have to be over at eLab, but that'll still be great. Also excited, we've wrapped up our planning for, many of y'all have heard in the statewide media, high dosage tutoring. That was $30 million that was allocated here in the legislative session. It took, they gave us about 3 weeks to come up with a plan. We were in better shape than a lot of districts because we had some of the logistical things already in place. But that was $260,000-ish that were given by the state to do high dosage tutoring for grades under 5. And we could utilize that to improve ELA and math scores. And that will start rolling when we get back from fall break. And a lot of kudos goes to our teaching and learning team for getting that off the ground. But every student who either did not perform well enough on the LEAP or other benchmark assessments will be getting tutoring for 30 minutes from experienced teachers or retired folks starting in October. And that will run for 10 weeks, and then it will run again for another 10 weeks in the spring. Oh, and my final thing to bring up, many people have come to me, I think the Student Services Department, which they're going to report to y'all probably in November, December about what we've done in the first half of the year in terms of truancy and attendance, which I can tell you that's going to be very good news. I've seen the preliminary data. Miss Pinckney is leading that team, and they're doing exactly what we promised they would. But one of the things that we were so focused on attendance and truancy, they're now starting to pivot to another hot button, which is our at-risk students. And some of y'all met with me previously, and I kind of alluded to this, but I wanted to mention to the entire board, I think y'all are aware of our QDR meetings where we do our quarterly data reviews on academics. What we're going to start doing is adding about 15 to 30 minutes at the tail end of those meetings where we will do the same data review for our at-risk students. So you may go into a school and say, okay, Natchitoches Central, who are your students that you're concerned outside of academics? We're talking about social, emotional, mental health, behavioral, so on and so forth. We'll have those names, and then the conversation is going to be almost similar to like an IEP. It's like, okay, you just listed, let's say, 10 names. What are we doing individually for those students? What interventions are we doing? And then we're going to track from quarter to quarter what interventions have we done and how successful those are. And that team's going to get involved individually with schools to make sure that we're not letting any of these kids slip through the cracks and not letting those behaviors exacerbate to the point where expulsion or suspension is the only option we have. So really excited about that. We also, and this is my final comment, this is also from the Student Services Department, and hopefully if you know a pastor in the room or you have a pastor you go to church with, and make sure they got an invitation, because we feel like we covered everyone, but we'll probably have to send out another list for the second one. But we are having our first Community of Faith luncheon where we're inviting any and all pastors in the community to come, and we feel like they're a big leverage point for moving the culture of our school district. And so we're going to tell them what's going on, what's good, what's bad. We're going to feed them, and hopefully they can carry a little bit of our message. Well, that's how we get them to come to us. We feed everyone. But hopefully they can carry a little bit of our message about truancy behavior, just hot button stuff to some of their parishioners, because there's probably only two places that get the most involvement between the community and families, and that's churches and school. So we're really excited about that. And other than that, looking forward to the fall and to see how the rest of the school year goes so far. We're going to have our first QDR meetings with principals in the next 2 weeks, and we're looking for, like we always do, continued growth.
We look forward to that report next month. Ms. McCaz and her crew put together a very, very good report for us back in August of what's been going on the last 18 months in her department, and that was amazing. And so we hope to hear the same good news from Student Services. Board members, any questions for Superintendent Evil?
I've got a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Can we put it on our list to maybe get an update on how the cell phone policy is working?
That's,
Maybe like November or December would
So-
be some good.
I think that's a perfect timing because we actually mentioned the first 3 months we would do that. I will tell you, I have not heard any specific complaints from parents or schools about the cell phone, the changes to the cell phone policy.
Right.
But I think in a formal way, we can also tell you, how many incidences we've had, and then I'll just get some anecdotal information from principals about how it's working, because I know they were fearful.
Right. So I haven't received any phone calls from parents at all, and I almost don't want to jinx it because I feel like if we check on it, then we may. But just a quick update.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, the first quarter, literally, first 9 weeks, everybody should be in tune.
Yeah.
There's been a few hiccups, I'm sure, but, the state passing that law banning cell
So
phones.
you want that for November, or would you want that for Thursday? Thursday would be somewhat of a quick
I'll
turn.
let you empower you to
Okay.
decide that.
I will put it for November because also, if y'all recall, in November I'll be presenting y'all the October 1 data as well. Even though today is October 1, but we have all month to clean it up, so. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. That concludes my part of the superintendent report. But we have 2 groups here today. I mentioned to y'all, and I hate that Ms. McGaskey's not here. She's a little under the weather. But we have a group here to talk about the foster grandparent program. And Ms. Ramona Widener was our point of contact. But I'm going to let her do the whole spiel because we did not apply for this grant. We were partners with another wonderful organization, and I think they're excited, we're excited, but I'm going to let them take the charge. And Ms. Ramona, you want to lead the way?
So I'll introduce them.
Yes,
Okay.
please.
Good evening to you all. So it's, when I first started working with Dr. Elo and I, am I on the right place?
Yes, yes.
He asked me about some grants to provide additional help in our classrooms, particularly for students who needed more support with literacy. And I told him about the foster grandparent program, but at that time, the funding opportunity was not available, but I just kept checking every few months, and he'll tell you to just see when the grant would be open. And so when I learned that it was open, I reached out to Ms. Sharon Harris at the Office of Community Services to ask if they would consider applying, since the program is usually managed by like offices of community services, councils on aging, or Southern University manages the program for Caddo, Bossier, and DeSoto Parish schools. But Ms. Harris and her team were open to the idea, so they wrote the grant and received it, and so here we are today, and I'm excited about our partnership. So they're here to talk. The team members that are with Ms. Harris, Mr. Rodney Ashiel, who will be the program director, and his support is Ms. Telsey. Let me get your first name. Patricia Telsey. So I'm going to let them come up and tell a little bit about the program and our partnership. And I have some brochures to hand out to you because we would love your help with recruiting. We started with recruiting for the program.
Ms. Ramona, actually, I think the Community of Faith luncheon would be a good time to hand some of these out as well.
You know some of us are grandparent age around.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, Lee wants one.
I want to say good evening to everyone. We are excited about this partnership, and working with you and helping meet the needs of our children in the community. Briefly, I just want to tell you a little bit about the foster grandparent program. It started in 1965, and the goal of the program was to engage people over 55 who have some income limitation with opportunities to provide one-to-one love and attention to children in institutional group settings while providing the older person with service of contribution, purpose, and a small stipend to their poverty level income, enabling them to participate without cost to themselves. Over the years, the program has evolved to include supporting children in public schools and other settings. Volunteers provide services to children having special or exceptional needs with other conditions or circumstances identified as limiting their academic or social economic development. All of our volunteers undergo criminal history checks prior to participation. All of our volunteers receive, all of them receive 20 hours of pre-service orientation before being assigned to a station site. And at the station site, they serve under the supervision basically of the classroom teacher. Their primary focus is to do one-on-one with students who have been identified as having exceptionalities or special needs, who are struggling either academically, emotionally, or need some social support. That foster grandparent can be there with them. Our foster grandparents will basically, again, they will serve about 20 hours on the average, 20 to 30 hours a week. They are volunteers. They are not employees. They do receive, again, a stipend, a small amount to defray the cost of them serving as a volunteer. And that's pretty much what they do as volunteers.
And we're gonna be at 3 sites, correct?
Right. And we've been working along with Ms. Winder, who's been so good in working with us. The 3 sites that we're looking at is LP Vaughn, Weaver, and I think Fairview Alpha.
Very exciting. Well, I appreciate y'all being such good partners, and I don't know, I was bugging Miss Ramona, she probably wasn't bugging y'all because she's better, but I just appreciate y'all being open to this, and it's such a neat partnership, so.
And again, we have Ms. Sharon Harris, who's our Executive Director at the Office of Community Service, and Ms. Patricia Chelsea, who's a support clerk working along with the program, because we have another program called Senior Companion Program as well. That's those who are 55 and older who help seniors who are usually home alone, frail, and need some assistance. They go into the homes and basically they're for companionship with them. So we have that program that's going on as well under AmeriCorps Seniors. Any
So
questions?
they would come to y'all to sign up and do?
Right. They will come to us and sign up. What we have to do basically is make sure they meet certain criteria such as being at least 55 years of age or older, that they meet the income eligibility guideline, which is 200% in the poverty level. Then from there, we go to the background checks. We do fingerprinting, FBI fingerprinting, and we do a sex offense background check as well to make sure that no predators are working with our vulnerable population. From there, if everything is cleared there, then we go on to the next stage, which is 20 hours of pre-service orientation. And after they complete that, then we look at assigning them to a station site.
So it takes about how long to actually get a person acclimated to go forward?
That could take about a week.
So when are y'all kicking off? Like what date do you plan to be in the schools or to be in the schools?
We're looking at October the 21st. I think it is October 21st. And that for the initial group to start. So if y'all know of anyone who's interested and who meets the criteria, please just send them to the Office of Community Service and have them call the office.
Well, we're gonna talk to all the pastors Thursday and tell them about it. Well, are you coming to our lunch? Did you not get a letter? If you didn't get a letter, here's your invitation.
Do we put that on our website?
They sent individual letters, and then when we have the lunch, we're gonna use them as anyone who got left off, we're gonna use them to build our list even more.
Okay.
If you got left off, it's Miss Payton's fault.
Any other questions? Y'all ready to go to that game, huh?
Thank you, thank you. And we also have another presentation by, it's our Healthcare ACE presentation. We have two representatives who would like to tell us everything about their program.
Thank you for having us. My name is Steve Grusbeck. I work at Northwestern, and I've asked Trinity Sanders to come with me. And I've also asked our colleague from LSUA, Dr. Catherine Cormier, to also visit very briefly with you. I really would like to just give a quick overview and then let these two ladies talk about specific opportunities that we'd like to let you be aware of and hopefully you take advantage of. At the end of 2022, the Rapides Foundation funded a series of projects that are all part of the Future of Healthcare grants project. Rapides Foundation awarded 5 grants in total to address shortages in Central Louisiana's healthcare workforce by developing an ongoing pool of K through 12 students who are interested in pursuing healthcare careers and who are academically prepared to succeed in post-secondary training programs. The Future of Healthcare program grants were awarded to Caterpillar Parish School Board, to Central Louisiana Area Health Education Center, to LSU Alexandria, to Northwestern State University, and also to Louisiana Central. And the president and CEO of Rapides Foundation says that shortages in the healthcare workforce have been a critical issue for many years in our region. New projects under the Future of Healthcare grant will provide an avenue for students to learn about healthcare occupations at an earlier age, to prepare them for the academic rigors of healthcare training programs, and to build technical skills that are needed to pursue healthcare careers. So I'd like to let these two ladies talk with you about some real-time opportunities to get involved in these no-cost projects. We had a great experience with you guys last year. If we'd like to have another one this year.
Right. Good afternoon, everyone. Like you said, my name is Trinity Sanders. I'm going to pass out a quick flyer to you all. All right, so our program is called Healthcare ACE, and we're an academic and career exploration program that's tailor-made for juniors and seniors that come from any Natchitoches Parish public school. We do service all of the Rapides Foundation non-service area, but for this meeting, we are only focusing on Natchitoches. So for one of our events, the students, last year with Natchitoches, students came to Northwestern's campus and they got to participate in a series of workshops. This year, students will cycle through 4 out of 8 workshops that are led by professors from Northwestern, Bossier Parish Community College, and Central Louisiana Technical College. And then within those fields, students get to have hands-on experiential learning in nursing, rad tech, allied health, advanced EMT, /paramedics, addiction studies, social work, and psychology. Last year we had the amazing opportunity to work with Ms. Pickney. Unfortunately, she has switched roles, and Ms. Jamie Gilmore has been our new contact. Before Ms. Pickney left, she picked a date of 10/25, which, if y'all are not aware, that's also the president's investiture, so we had to unfortunately reschedule. I'm trying to work with Ms. Jamie Gilmore and Ms. Shelby Laborde to get a new date. Right now we're looking at February 28th. I'm not sure if y'all have the ability to make sure that's okay, because I haven't been able to get a response back from Ms. Shelby.
Well, I haven't talked to Ms. LaBorde about it, but I know Ms. Gilmore has been,
Yes.
they've been back and forth
Yes.
trying to. Yeah.
Yes, and we really want to be able to give this opportunity to our Natchitoches students again. And last year we got the chance to work with Natchitoches Central High School as well as Lakeview. I do know that there is another
NPTCC.
yes, NPTCC They were supposed to come last year, but I believe they had a scheduling issue. And unfortunately, I'm not really familiar with the type of track that those students are on, but if they are on a similar track, then they are more than welcome to come. And we just wanted to share our information in hopes that we can get another event scheduled with Natchitoches Parish.
Definitely. It's going to happen. It's just a matter of us trying to
Yes.
figure out the date.
Yes. All right.
Busy fall, huh?
Yes. I also have on my business cards that I want to pass on people. Oh, yes, and on the back of the flyer, that's all of the different career opportunities that students get a chance to learn about. Thank y'all.
So I'm gonna work fast. And you know, football is a priority in our state, right? So, my name's Dr. Kathy Cormier. I'm with LSUA. We also were very fortunate enough to get a grant through the Rapides Foundation. We have partnerships with LSUA, CLTCC, and also LA HOSA. So this grant really was evolved from a summit that we had at LSUA about the shortage of healthcare workers. We have a very severe shortage of nurses here in central Louisiana. And the whole idea behind this is to develop some excitement and passion for a career in nursing or in other healthcare areas. And kind of grow your own, right? The idea is for us to create that excitement, educate the students, and then have them stay here in our communities. Our grant involves two major projects. One is the Future Nurse Project. It's a summer camp. We have them in 5 different locations. The closest one to Natchitoches is Winfield, which I know does present a little bit of challenge in terms of travel. But the camp is a week long. We have dates to be determined. It's usually the first and second week in July. It's free. It's for high school students. We've had students from Natchitoches come in the past. We've actually had students travel from Natchitoches to LSUA to do the camp at LSUA. But the students get a set of scrubs, they get a stethoscope, they have free lunch, and it's Monday through Friday. It's a day camp. And basically what we do is we introduce them to the profession of nursing. We do similar activities to a first year nursing student would get, vital signs, physical assessment, wound care, those types of things. The feedback that we've gotten from students has been great. They love it. And what I'm asking for you is to help us spread the word to your community. Any teachers. We also have the HOSA chapters, which is a little bit of a broader scope. It includes all healthcare. This is an international organization that promotes leadership and interest in careers in healthcare. We have Natchitoches High School as one of our chapter members. I think we have 17 students. The grant involves not only supporting membership in the chapter for students that may not be financially able to do that, but also we sponsored several students from Natchitoches High School to attend the conferences, the HOSA conferences that were held last year in Baton Rouge. So there is a conference coming up. It's going to be in Natchitoches. And we would love to have more schools involved from this area. It's not just high schools, but also middle schools. The other thing that the grant provides is a stipend. And this has been one of the bigger challenges to getting the chapters off the ground, is getting a teacher interested in being a chapter advisor. And the teacher does receive, if they're willing to serve as an advisor, $1,000 stipend for doing that over the course of a school year. So any questions that you guys might have about this program?
I know we've been lately involved.
Well, and I was thinking too, with, it's possible for us to provide, from the district to provide some transportation. To
That conversation came up because we also do a camp in Catahoula, and they have similar challenges in terms of the transportation. So we would love to work with you on that.
Sure.
There's a QR code on the form.
And if you're having your pastor meeting, this would be a great thing, and I can actually send you, this, electronically if you would like. Because I think hitting the churches, getting those kids involved in a positive activity over the summer is a wonderful thing.
Sure.
So, any questions? Christina Sloan is the representative from LA HOSA, and she is working specifically with schools in central Louisiana to get those chapters off the ground. So, if you access the QR code, her contact information is there. Any questions about anything? I'll say one little quick thing just as a plug. The first camp that we did at LSUA before this grant started, the student was a junior in high school. We were able to advise her on dual enrollment courses. She actually started clinical the semester after she graduated from high school and graduated last May. And is now working in Rapides Parish as an ICU nurse. So that's one of our success stories. And we would love to have more participation from this area. So thank you again for your time tonight. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
So thank you to all our visitors. That was great information from both groups. And other than that concludes my superintendent report.
Thank you, Dr. Board members, any questions for any of the members?
I just want to say, thank you for giving our kids so many opportunities, because that's exposure. And with them being exposed to the different opportunities, the sky's the limit.
Ladies, thank y'all.
Thank you.
Thank y'all for making the trip to Natchitoches and giving us the information that you provided.
Thank y'all.
Thank you. Okay, Mr. Shirley, informational report.
Just a couple of major things that I want to point out. Miss Jennifer Ingram, Miss Ramon, and myself have filled out some grant paperwork for securing our schools. From what I'm understanding, all of them were accepted. We get up to $50,000 per school. We've had one come in so far that we're able to move on and act on, and that's Natchitoches Central. So we're hardening the perimeter of those. We're creating a master system that will go throughout the whole district as far as keying. That the fire department and the police department will have better access to our buildings when needed. We will have better access to our buildings when needed. So kind of excited about that. Our first one is Natchitoches Central, and all of them have been approved as far as I know. They just give them to us one at a time. That way we can actually take them and do them, and we don't have a whole bunch going on at one time. But I want to say Natchitoches Central, we're doing every single building of the outdoors, the outdoor side of them. We're not doing the inside yet because $50,000 will only go so far when you're dealing with hardware. So all of the perimeters should be where we need it to be in probably about a month and a half. Everything's on order, we're just waiting on it to come in and rock and roll with it. The next thing, for the past couple of weeks, we've been with the adjusters on the claims. So we're about done with those. We're waiting the reports. I haven't got any reports on those yet, but that's one of the major things that we have going on right now. Other than that, just your basic everyday run-of-the-mill maintenance. We have, believe it or not, already seen some supply chain concerns about the strike that's going on. I've already had emails today from a couple of different suppliers. So I don't know how that's going to affect us moving forward, but we've already had some reach out and say they are already starting to have some issues getting things. So just be patient with us. We got a lot of stuff on order for a lot of projects. It's already on back order, so I don't know how much further this is gonna push it back, so just be patient with us. We got a lot of things going on.
Mr. Shirley, you was saying about grants. Have we ever looked at it? I don't know how hard it would be if we would go with, solar panels on some of these schools. We got these big old roofs and stuff. I don't know how hard, cause I've been getting contacted.
Did you know a guy called me actually today,
Okay.
actually asking if we had any?
Yeah.
So that's actually a conversation that I've set up a meeting with him that he's gonna call, and we're gonna do kind of a webinar. But no, we've never, when I was at the hospital, we kind of looked into it when it first come out, but then it kind of died off. But I actually had a gentleman call me today and ask me if we'd done that from another school district. So me and him are actually gonna sit down and do some talking with a vendor. I wanna say that's Thursday, Wednesday, tomorrow's Wednesday? So maybe Thursday or Friday.
Cause I had one to contact me and stuff, and I told him to contact either you or,
Give them my number.
Cause they say they have money out there that, where they trying to get some school system, they don't have none here. I don't think he said there's none in Louisiana.
Right now, I'm looking at one thing that we were going to implement at Providence all due to the water issue.
Okay.
We're looking at building a pump trailer for basically potable water. So if they run out of water, to be able to put a tanker truck and back this trailer up to it and pump water into the building so school can remain. The electrical side of it, I had a gentleman reach out to me trying to get me to apply for a grant to build that trailer. So we're having more and more people reach out here lately about those. We had some transportation grants for like the ag department that Ms. Ramona's gonna look into for us, like to transport the ag people from competition to competition instead of taking 3 people and having to ride, you can get a bus to go all the way over for like vans. But I've had a lot of people reach out to me, I don't know why, but they needed to be reaching out to Ms. Ramona. But I don't mind helping, so we do have a lot of that going on right now for us, looking into grants.
Lancaster, California, they do it, and they partner with the city, as a matter of fact, and they get paid, I guess, them and the city get paid for the whole.
You wouldn't believe the amount of schools, when we went to South Carolina for the national championship for fishing, you wouldn't believe how many new schools up there in South Carolina and in north part of Georgia that actually have just acres and acres.
That's right.
Of those things already on their campus. Now, these are brand new schools that they just built.
Yeah.
But yeah, they have acres and acres of those things. So yes, it would be well worth looking into.
Okay. All right,
By the way, how are we looking on the lighting out there?
They backed me up a week. Did I send that to you?
I didn't get it.
Or was that? That may have been one of the things I had in my report.
Yeah.
They backed me up a week. They were supposed to have been in last week. So we're hoping they're here this week. But now that I've got supply chain issues, I'm hoping
Situation.
electrical is one of them. Because we're still waiting on a few things for our main office. We got a couple of breakers that are out that we're still waiting on, and that was the actual supplier that reached out to me today. Not about the lights, but they reached out to me about the breakers. So we shall see how it goes. I don't know.
You know anything about LP ones pre-K playground? The status of it?
Is that the one we had to order the rubber coats?
Because
They
they've got
get
the,
back with APC plate.
They've
They got
had
to
the-
do the one for Fairview, but I don't think they sent anything on LP one.
because they had the equipment, they've had the equipment for a while, but
Right, but legally,
Yeah.
we can't install it until those are down.
Yeah.
Now, here's one of the things, and I'm gonna say this, and I'll double check. We may wanna look at drainage for water, because where they want to put that holds water.
and those
So,
notes get
and those
carried
go,
out.
and they'll get washed away. So
The other option is mulch, correct?
yes, mulch is gonna float away faster,
But
but
it's
the
cheaper.
rubber is 3 times, 4 times as much as mulch. So that may be one of the things I need to get with Fred on and ask him to go over and look at the drainage, because if we don't have drainage for that, then when we do that little parking lot and stuff back there, everything now flows into a bowl right there. So I'm gonna ask him about that. And then I will get back with APC Play and find out about the rubber. But yeah, I said that in Fairview at the same time, so we can get that on.
She's coming Thursday. And y'all also, we'll have the sales tax on for Thursday as well. We received it, but we just received it too late. She, for Thursday.
All right.
I submitted my report. Nothing spectacular to, report, other than we have summer, after-school programs. NCHS has already begun. Provençal and Fairview have backed up until after break, where all the other schools will be participating as well. Did anyone have any questions for me?
Thank you for taking care of the situation in, our campus.
Of course. Of course. And, Mr. McGuire, what you called me about? Yeah, it's taken care of, and I didn't like the, situation itself, so I went ahead and I created a new plan.
All right.
So we'll never have to deal with that again.
Okay.
I have a
And I have
driver
to-
for it and a backup driver.
And I have to call that parent
Yeah.
back too. I have to call the parent back too.
Yeah, just let her know that, that will never be an issue going forward.
Perfect.
Did anybody have anything else? All right, let me go back so I can send my employee home. Y'all have a great day.
You too.
Any questions about Mr. Page's report? All right. Dr. Eloy, you resign?
Resigning, what are you talking about?
Oh, it must have been a line item.
The press.
Typo.
MPJ would have a field day with that.
Okay, Ms. Palmer.
Yes, sir. 5, Finance, Facilities, Services, and Insurance. 5A, discussion concerning telehealth program with Natchez Regional Medical Center. Jack.
Yeah, Mr. Freddie's not here tonight, but he asked for that to go on for Thursday because Mr. Kurt Swallow and Mr. Tom Matushka will come and talk to the board. I know y'all received multiple emails from employees as well, so.
Okay. 5B, discuss and consider MOU with BIPSI.
It's the same MOU we do year to year, just dates change. There's one new caveat there. We have a lot of equipment that is our equipment, but it's being housed currently at BIPSI, and so we just wanted to make sure whose responsibility the upkeep of that equipment is.
For the advanced manufacturer.
For the advanced manufacturing, which I was in that class this morning, but it's pretty boilerplate. It's just our annual one with them.
You have a detailed list at the bottom.
Of the actual
Okay.
inventory. Yeah.
All right, good deal.
That's it.
Hmm.
That concludes finance.
Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Dancy.
We will discuss A and B next Thursday.
Yes, sir.
This Thursday.
This Thursday.
Um,
This Thursday.
I will ask the board that Mr. Stamey, and I'm not sure if he's bringing Mr. Townsend, but they did ask if we could put that at the beginning of the meeting because they have an out-of-town deposition or court case early the next morning, and they have to get going. So.
Okay. Board members, if I can indulge and ask, you have a brand new maroon polo. Can you wear it Thursday night? Okay.
I need to.
Do we have any further business? Okay, we're adjourned. Thank you.